It's obviously a massive weekend in college basketball. You got conference tournaments going on all day. Selection Sunday is 2 days away, and I think I want to start with the biggest story from yesterday, which is Cooper Flagg, consensus #1 overall pick in the upcoming NBA draft. He turns his ankle in Duke's game versus Georgia Tech, leaves the game in a wheelchair. Duke wins the game, but, I think it's likely John Shire kind of hinted that he's probably not going to play in the ACC tournament the rest of the way. And his status for the NCAA tournament next week may be up in the air at this point. There have been rumblings about him potentially returning to Duke for a second season. Most people still think he's going to go pro. Does this injury to Cooper Flagg change anything about what he's going to do after the college basketball season?
No, he will be in the NBA draft. And if anything, this just sort of reinforces why you need to be in the NBA draft, because your health is not guaranteed. This is not as bad as it could have been, because it could have been a fractured ankle. It's not. It's a sprain. But this will be the type of thing that makes him even more sure he needs to be in the 2025 NBA draft as opposed to do another year of college basketball. As for what it means for Duke, it's not good, but we have to wait and see how his ankle responds. Bennett, we both work for an NBA franchise that has ankle sprains all the time. We're well versed in how this stuff works. And just know, if he were a Grizzly, and I don't mean this as a criticism, I want to be very clear. I mean this as just like a statement of fact. If Jaren Jackson Jr. or John Morant or anybody fell like that last night in a game, they would immediately be assumed out for at least a week. And the status report would probably say something like ankle sprain, left ankle sprain, will be evaluated on a week-to-week basis. So there's no chance Cooper Flagg plays tonight. Frankly, even if he was healthy enough to do it, because at this point, Duke has locked up the #1 seed in the NCAA, #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. And I don't want to say there's nothing to play for, because it's the ACC tournament championship. Yeah. Like, you can't hold these things and then say they don't matter. So it is something to play for, but it's not important enough to play if you were anything less than 100%. So now the question becomes, when can he be close enough to 100% to where it's reasonable to put him out there again? And one good news for Duke is that they're probably going to start the NCAA tournament in Raleigh. As you know, all of these locations have different schedules. Some are Thursday, Saturday, some are Friday, Sunday. Raleigh happens to be Friday, Sunday. That would give him an extra day. So if you don't play until Friday in Raleigh, then from the moment Cooper Flagg injured his ankle to the moment he would need to play in the first round of the NCAA tournament, you could have 7 full days in between. And if you wanted to hold him out for that round of 64 game and just look at your team and say, guys, if you can't beat a 16 seed without Cooper Flagg, shame on you. Yeah. And don't want to bring him back to the round of 32, then you could have 9 full days between injury and time to play again. That's probably not as much time as you would like, but Duke is working on a schedule here, and this is a thing you never get back. Like, even when we watch John Morant have to miss playoff games, you can always in that moment go, this sucks, but next year's a new year and we'll try again next year. There is no try again next season with Cooper Flagg, with this team. This is one shot. This is all you get. So I do believe he will play again, but I do not think we'll see him play again in Charlotte, and we might not see him play again until the round of 32.
They're obviously going to play North Carolina tonight. That's a big game. North Carolina beats Wake Forest yesterday. So we do get Duke, North Carolina tonight, primetime on ESPN. No Cooper Flagg takes a little air out of it. But we know the recent success that UNC's had against Duke in the postseason. This is a pretty massive game for Hubert Davis tonight, right? Even without Cooper Flagg playing for Duke.
No question. North Carolina is playing for its NCAA tournament life. Yeah. Right now, the Tar Heels are 1-11 in Quadrant 1. Incredibly, that still puts them on the bubble. But according to Jerry Palm, at least, they're on the wrong side of the bubble right now. So just based off current projections, it's reasonable to assume North Carolina needs to beat Duke tonight. Beat Duke tonight, they're probably in the field. Lose to Duke tonight, probably not in the field. So North Carolina, the stakes are obvious. For Duke, that's another thing to play for. This is a program, remember, that lost Coach K's final home game at Cameron Indoor to North Carolina, and then lost in the Final Four to North Carolina that same year. So this is or lost, maybe it was in the Elite Eight that same year, but lost in the NCAA tournament to Carolina in that same year. So they've ruined some big stuff for you in recent years, and you have a chance to ruin something for them. So maybe Cooper Flagg doesn't play. Maybe the ACC tournament isn't the biggest prize, but you can force your biggest rival to watch the NCAA tournament, theoretically, by beating them today. So absolutely, fun game in Charlotte.
The Gary Parrish Show, live weekdays at 10 a.m.